Bet you weren't expecting to see me so soon. Hi, my lovelies. I'm back. So, this is going to be a quick one. Had a busy day. How's your day been? Tell me. Want to hear about it? Decorating multiple rooms at once. Probably not the best idea. But we move, as you can see. More things are coming together. We're getting there. The fit? Do you want to see the fit? A ding! Do you like? I'm not going to ask what you're wearing. That's very strange. So, life jackets. Let's dive right in. So, if you were watching, not today, where have you been? I missed you. Come join. Today is August the 14th, which is the anniversary of Gladys Presley, or Gladys Love Smith, previously known. Anniversary since she sadly lost her life. So, we're going to have a little celebration of her life, make tribute to her, like I do every year. But this year, you get a join in this lovely Elvis family that we've created and we continue to create. Hello, Dutch. Dutch. Come on. He's so hot. Nobody needs to hear that. Come. Go on and get a drink. Anywho. So yes. Gladys Love Smith, born 25th of April in Mississippi. 25th of April. Totally forgot the date. Totally forgot to tell you the date. 19. Side story! I also love Titanic. The film came out when I was 1 in 1997. And my dog that passed away in 2024, who I miss dearly, he was called Dawson Jack Elvis. He was little Jack Russell, and he was my life from when I was 16 to 28. How old? Yes. Till I was 28. So a little shout out, oh Dawson. Give him lots of love. Anywho. So yeah, 1912. And being one of 9 children. Now, was that barbaric? Absolutely barbaric behaviour. But back then it was normal. Because, as our family proved, child loss was pretty common. She was one of 9 children, and she lost 2 brothers. So she was one of 9 kids, 3 brothers, 5 sisters, and lost 2 brothers. Unsure on how old she was. Do let me know. I don't know everything. But her parents, Robert, and is it Octavia or Octavia? I don't know if the accent is making it sound wrong, but famously known as Doll. You know, we'll stick to Doll. I love Doll. It's such a cute name. But yeah, being born way back then, and sadly only been on this earth for 46 years. It's just no time. It's just nothing. Obviously, there's not too much of her early life. You know, back then you don't really hear a lot. You know, she's known as Elvis's mum, the King of Rock and Roll's mum, whatever you want to call her. I always call her our Gladys. Side story. My great nan was called Gladys. She was called Gladys King, which I always find pretty cool, because Gladys being the mother of the king. And I got into Elvis, and my great nan was called Gladys King. Crazy. So shout out to my family's Gladys. But they called her Gladys. So I always say Gladys for Elvis's mum. Why is this door open? We're going to change that. God damn. Darn it! She met Vernon. They got married June 17th, 1933. Yeah. And obviously, Elvis was born. We all know the story. Gladys was older than Vernon. Nothing wrong with that. And then 8th of January 1935, she gives birth. She gives birth to first being at 4 a.m. and he was named Jesse Garin. Yeah. Jesse, I love that name. Really, really love that name. And then 35 minutes later, the king was born. Jesse, unfortunately, lost his life at birth. Something like a lot of us believe. The whole family. I don't believe it was just Elvis and his mum. I think lost for everyone. That they sadly lost Jesse Garin. And only Elvis Aaron was born. Breathing well. Not knowing what he was going to become. And stuff like that. Which, yeah. So, Jesse was buried the next day in an unmarked grave in, again, I might be butchering names. These are how I've always said them. Priceville Cemetery. Again, correct me. Don't insult me, just correct me. Yeah, he was buried there. And that was in Tupelo, Mississippi. Of course. Her and Vernon moved. The big move. The start of it all. To Memphis, Tennessee. That's probably no accent at all. But I'm getting with it. Alright? That's my American accent. And people are just going to have to deal with it. You know? I'm trying my best over here. So yeah. They moved there 6th of November 1948. So Elvis, not even gonna lie, is my maths is that bad. I just had to Google. I couldn't work out 35 to 48. I had to Google how old that made Elvis. Don't let me be a shopkeeper. Don't let me handle money. Are we still liking the glitzy phone case? Don't know if you can really see it. It's fine. So yeah, that's when they moved to Memphis. The start of it all. And obviously, they were put in, I believe, what they call public housing. I don't think we say that over here. We call it council housing, I believe. Again, I could be well wrong. But, you know, that's Elvis girl for you. She ain't the smartest bulb. The brightest bulb. Anywho, so, yes, they moved in 1948 when Elvis was 13. Now, this is a Gladys story, not an Elvis one. So don't come shouting at me. You know, we've got a big day in 2 days. And yous all better be here. Some exciting things coming up though. Anywho, Gladys and Elvis were obviously very, very close. You never seem to hear much about Van Elvis being very close. I know his dad went away for a dodgy check. Naughty, naughty. But understandably, Gladys was a very protective mother. She already lost her son. You know, the poverty. You know, it's all going to play a part. And you've got this one boy. You know, your one baby. Because he's always a baby. You just want to protect with everything. That's how it is. You know. Somebody threatened my dog. That's all I can say. So yeah. People... Do you know what? People like to start these stories. Oh, they were too close. How can you be too close with your kid? How can you love them too much? How can you want to protect them too much? The only too much is that belter of a song. Well, honey, I love you too much. I need your loving too much. I need your loving too much. Stop it. Anywho. So, yeah. That's my little side rant about that. There was nothing weird about their relationship. They were just very close. Loving mother and son. And that's my opinion. You know, Elvis had his name, Sra. My best girl. Imagine Elvis calling you that. Yeah. Best girl. Saturn. I actually didn't know that one till I was about 20. So before the Elvis film came out. I remember loads of people asked me about that. I was like, what's he saying? But they couldn't actually tell what he was saying. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Anyhow. But yeah, lovely, close bond. Which is how it should be. It's just how it is. You know, and she was very supportive though. You know, because you do get protective and then you have overprotective. But like, no. You can't live if I'm not there with you. But she was protective, but supportive. You know. She was really supportive in his early career. But it is very well known that she struggled during sort of the lift off, the big stardom that was to come. You know, she worried, she lost sleep when he was on the road. You know, but this is your baby going off and doing things. You know, my mum, she probably couldn't wait for me to leave because I was the last one. And she was like, just give me some peace. Just move out. I've had enough. Love you, mum. But no, she She did really struggle, especially when he went in the army. You're gonna worry. You really are. If you said you wouldn't worry, you're either a liar or you're silly. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, and I believe it's what took her life. Let's say it in a better way. I do believe that the army played a big part in her losing her life. I think the struggling became too much. He showered her in gifts. Do you know the famous pink Cadillac? Gladdy in a caddy is what I always say. Obviously Graceland. That was mainly for his mum. What a beautiful thing to be able to do. As a daughter, as a child, I'd love to be able to do that. Just go, here family, thank you for raising me. Thank you for putting up with me. And listen to Elvis 24/7. Here you go. All your debts cleared. Whatever. But that was just a side story. And there's been many, all deaths in famous life. The speculations. I remember the first story I heard was she overdosed. Then alcohol poisoning. There's many speculations. The one that always seems to come back is heart attack from acute hepatitis. So let me know. Do you hear that a lot? Different stories and stuff? Do let me know. Because it seems like ever since I was a kid, I hear all these different stories. And different things on documentaries. Different things in books. And it's hard to know. Because this woman died in 1958. While Elvis was in the army. And like I say, I do believe it was just too much for her heart. She couldn't deal. So, yeah. And then she was, sorry, itchy eye. She was originally buried in Memphis. And then 10 days after Elvis's passing, so August the 26th, 1977, she got moved to the meditation garden. This was... I hate this story. There she lay to rest. And then 10 days after Elvis died, which was August 26th, 1977, she got moved to Forest Hill. What they call a crypt, I think. Not really sure on the wedding. But I hate this bit. But it was because people were trying to ransack Elvis. She got moved to Forest Hill. And then in October, thieves were trying to steal Elvis. It makes me so angry just saying it. It's just horrible. It's kind of gives me shivers. But anywho, so they laid them to rest in the meditation garden where we all visit now. So yeah, that's a little Gladdy story, little Gladdy and Elvis, bit of Vernon sprinkled in there for people who might not know. I just want to pay tribute with me. Like I say, I do it every year, usually on my own. This year, I want to join with you. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, that happened October 2nd. Vernon was granted permission, and now they all live there. And it's so sad that the grandmother outlived. Makes me. I am getting a little bit, because I did get a pay tribute on her birthday this year, and next year I will be paying tribute on her anniversary. Yeah. But what we're going to do is what I always do. So, if you just want to join. If you don't, that's fine too. But it's what I always do. My guest house. Graceland guest house. I always do this. Oh, you are winding me up. My little Elvis Presley fans. TCB candle. Just gonna, pop that there. And join me. Raise your cuppa. Cup of coffee. Juice. Iced tea. I've got water. That is literally bigger than my head. But I'm raising a glass to you, Gladys. We all love, appreciate you. You're with all your family. And we remember you. And we'll continue to remember you and your son's legacy forever. And there you go. We've paid tribute over on here. Elvis Presley fans TCB podcast. If you don't already, we are on Facebook. Elvis Presley fans TCB. Same on Instagram. So, as always, thank you for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you with all my being. Sorry if there's a lot of cut. I had my dad, my brother round, bit of decorating. Apologies. But as always, take care of business, take care of Bryony, and she will take care of you.